we're going to see a lot of teams not willing to let the other one a first pick lock. This champion is very, very strong at the moment, despite already getting some nerfs, and is in line for another round of nerfs. So I think that is going to remain consistent. But like I said, I think the meta was already quite good, for Saint. So I want to see what FlyQuest can do here, because from the FlyQuest point of view, they're coming from some practice in Korea as well, and this may be one of their best opportunities to try and get a win versus LYON. Early in the split, they don't have Inspired. This would be the perfect time to strike, and they're going to continue on with the mage's trend. Ziggs here, quite possibly for the bottom lane. There is always the flexibility of being able to rotate it, but you're pretty sure that is going to be a Ziggs plus either like a Camille or some sort of roaming support.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, so far this split, there's been 53 Ziggs games bought, only one mid lane. So, in the third split globally, that is including, tier 2 as well, because we haven't gotten that far into the season yet, so there's not that much data. But it is going to be Camille taken away on the other side, as well as that Jarvan. So a lot of engage being grabbed here early on from LYON.
Not just engage, but two of Ziggs' best friends with the Hextech Ultimatum plus the Cataclysm, making easy targets for the combo with the Mega Inferno Bomb. LYON looking to take some of the bite out of the explosives there from the Ziggs, but FlyQuest is going to respond. They're going to put Gryffinn on Lee Sin. For the type of player, for the type of personality that Gryffinn is, I feel like an early game playmaking, skirmishing type of champ like Lee really fits the bill.
And Lee is just a good pick into Jarvan, so it's a nice response to seeing the answers from LYON here with so much mobility. It's quite easy for Lee Sin to deal with the EQ combo, and as well with the Cataclysm. And then the Leona answer into the Camille too. We've seen a lot of this when the Camille in lane tries to go for these plays. The Leona is so tanky. You can just focus down the Camille, lock her down, hit her with the combo with Ziggs, and it is guaranteed damage there. Plus, then your roaming is fairly effective as well once you can get to your ultimate. And you can pair up with a very mobile jungler like Lee Sin. So honestly, I think the responses from both sides have been quite good here in the first 3 picks.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I really started at MSI preferring the lanes that were drafted to actually attack Camille instead of Camille's partner, because they just seemed so much more effective. Camille hookshots in, Leona goes on him. You're way tankier than the Camille. It becomes very difficult, and then it becomes a game of kind of matching roams. It is interesting, though, as much as Lee Sin is about as standard gets for junglers throughout League's history, it is the first professional game that Gryffinn will have ever played. So we will see how he does, because this is a champion that I always see as being really strong when you're incredible at it, and being pretty trash when you're average at it, even at the pro level. So I'm kind of excited to see how he performs.
And I've said it before, but my test, my kind of made-up criteria that I always put for Lee is I need to see something other than zeros in your scoreline by the time you hit level 7. You need to be involved early, making some kind of a play. Once you have Dragon's Rage, there's no excuse not to find somebody and make a move. So that's kind of what I'm always expecting to see players get involved once they have all of the kit unlocked. Second half of the draft, though, coming around, and LYON is targeting some of those annoying solo lane picks in the Vayne and the Twisted Fate being banned out. Meanwhile, FlyQuest has their eyes dead set on mid. Sylas and Syndra both banned away from Saint.
Yeah, Syndra becoming pretty popular bot lane as well in this split, so that's something that they're a bit worried about there. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. Obviously, for LYON, it was mostly bans just protecting Dola, whether it is an ADTF or a TF mid that's going to be roaming. They're just trying to stay safe in that regard.
Berserker going over all of these bot lane possible champions here too. And we're going to end up with the Cassio. I'm going to guess that it is currently going to go to Saint, but it is definitely flexible. The Cassio Camille, definitely a good answer here, because Cassio doesn't have to work around cooldowns like Ziggs does. So if you do go for, each trying to kill each other's support, then the Cassio can kind of run you down as well, and puts the extra pressure back the other way. Ooh, this is a very good steal away, especially for Fearless here. Take up that Akali for later on.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'd also say, as much as I'd never really had the association of Berserker and Mages, I thought he played great on Mages at MSI, right? And he has kind of proven that he can, play at least the Ziggs. He can, look really comfortable and carry some games on those champions.
And I mean, especially for a player who was known for his hyper carries, his stuff like the Zeri, I feel like this current twisting of the meta for the mages in bottom lane. It's one of those types of instances of the game similar to melee assassins mid, where if you have a player who can't play it, your team is now at a massive disadvantage because it's just the strongest way to play League right now. So Berserker showing that, yeah, he can manage to check that box. Great news for LYON. It is the Akali and Ambessa, two powerful divers here on the FlyQuest side with Lee, Akali, and Ambessa. The carries on LYON are going to have to be very careful here in this one, as the final pick of the draft on the LYON side will be LeBlanc for Saint.
So it is going to be Cassio bot, and yeah, the chains there, you know, with LeBlanc, you can reveal the Akali in the Shroud, try to lock him down, try to burst them down. Obviously, a good ganking jungler alongside that Jarvan. You know, you have that power of the LeBlanc and the Jarvan. I would be very surprised if this is actually a LeBlanc bot. I feel like they're messing with us.
They have until, what, it's 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
So,
but we don't have the exact timer, so it's kind of...
The bar has to be at like a third, because you get 60. So whatever a third of the
this
bar...
Would shock me.
It's getting close.
Whatever,
they're not messing around.
A third of the bar.
They're going to swap. I don't believe it.
Let's see. Hold on, I don't know where the bar has to be.
Yeah, where's the
like
20 seconds?
It got down to the last two champions, man. I feel like this is the end of the bar. Okay.
You want the LeBlanc into the Akali. FlyQuest are also having a little fun with it there too. You see them swapping. All right, fine. What about Akali bottom? Nah, everybody puts the guns down. Everybody calm down.
The coaches pulled out the guns. that's what happened.
You better trade that champion.
I trade that champion right now.
We have had some issues with the cutoff for trading.
Yes,
so no messing around with that 20-second rule. And we'll get into our first game here. Back for summer in the LCS feels good.
I am so ready for this. FlyQuest going up against LYON. LYON, of course, going to be down some of that special sauce that has made them such a powerful contender because they don't have Inspired. But Kobe, you already mentioned how Doke was saying, no, everybody else is ready to take up some of that Inspired mantle, work together as a team, despite the fact that they're running a substitute jungler. But man, they're up against a FlyQuest team that is hungry. This is a squad that's been building up throughout the whole year, talking about how, yeah, we've got a young roster. We got to work to get where we want to be. We want to get a spot at Worlds. Well, now you have an opportunity to play against one of your top contenders for one of those World spots when they are in a weakened state, not having their star player. For FlyQuest, this is as good as it's going to get, and they need to strike true. Let's get onto the rift for the first time here in Summer Split for LCS 2026.
Okay, so Saint here with the counter pick, with the LeBlanc in mid lane. With the chain and with the ignite, have some really good answers to Akali. Bottom side, though, is going to be our first bit of damage.
All right, one auto attack plus a hook shot. It doesn't do a whole lot. Okay, there, a couple more auto attacks.
Count them all.
Traded.
Yeah, like 3 for Isles, one in a Q for Cryogen.
Well, technically, the spells still count as autos for both of them, right? Because they just enchant the foot or the shield, whichever one makes the contact. All right, so just looking across the board, everything looks pretty standard here. Teleport advantage, though, decidedly in the favor of FlyQuest, as both Quad and Massu are running the TPs, while Saint has Ignite and Berserker has Cleanse.
Yeah, Berserker going to be taking Cleanse, obviously a lot of CC there. Also just interesting that he's going to be playing Conqueror, he's not playing Deathfire Touch, so he is going to be playing more for that sustain, stacking that up. So if they do have any extended fights, that can be quite powerful. And you know, you're looking over at the other side as a Cassio, and you're seeing 4 melee champs. You're seeing a lot of ability to potentially kite back and try to, you know, deal with them in an extended fight.
Yeah, I actually like this a lot for a bottom lane, especially because with the 2v2, you have you know, multiple targets and the double melee supports. And as they continue to go for some of these trades here.
Ooh, Quad in some serious danger, caught up by the chains. Ignite still ticking, flash away from the FlyQuest mid laner. One more auto attack may have sealed his fate there, and he does not want to risk it. So Ignite from Saint traded for the flash of Quad.
Yeah, and I think that Q was almost back up for Saint, so for sure he could have gone for flash Q auto and finished him off, so he had to early flash. But this was LYON returning from MSI, taking down #1 seeds from a bunch of different regions. They 3-0 Furia, they 3-0 Seer Whales, and they're going to get first blood here as well.
From 3-0s into 2v2s. Berserker going, wants another one. Berserker! He got too thirsty for it, but it's an execution, so he doesn't even truly get punished. LYON are ready to play this one fast and loose.
That's how he got his name, Flowers.
Yeah, that was a Berserk one for sure.
He went Berserk under the tower.
My man is just yelling, witness me!
He's trying to chase him down. Got hyped up. And let's take another look at how it started. So Isles, once again, goes for the initiation, and the long E from Cryogen takes him into his own death.
Yeah, and I mean, you're just not that tanky on the Leona. He didn't have his W skilled yet, right? So he goes back in. The hook shot into that Q from the Cassio guarantees it, and Berserker knows he's trolling a little bit, but still, the wave was good. The kill is good.
They were hovering over a lot of mages and champions that could be played bottom lane in Champ Select. It takes a while though to learn all the thresholds and the actual lethals here, and see if you actually have enough speed to chase him down. So still feeling it out, but yeah, execute.
Man, Quad is just not having a fun time here in this mid lane head-to-head. You saw Saint take a big chunk of his health again. Isles was also hanging around, so there was no opportunity for Quad to do anything back. So the Akali early lane being about as fun as you would expect. There's a flash coming in from Saint. Wants more and more auto attack to turn it around. It's a 1-for-1 thanks to the turret, but now back in the mid lane, Isles has to get away from Gryffinn. The Lee Sin going in for another kill. Wants to try to give FlyQuest the advantage here in the resonating strike. Finds its target. Gryffinn ties up the game.
All right, the jungler versus support matchup here goes the way of Gryffinn. Not necessarily a fair one there, as Isles was toying around and trying to get vision deep in the jungle. And now another scrap, Flowers.
Yeah, Berserker's coming in after Massu. One more Twin Fang finds the throat of Ziggs. And that's another kill going to Berserker. 2-1-0 here with the Cassiopeia.
I love it. Everybody's back and we're limit testing. Everybody's hands checking each other. And the Saint one, by the way, was super worth it. That mid lane dive they did there were so many minions at the tower. Yep. So he did not hesitate to flash and push Quad even further back. But now we're on another roam. And we're going to continue to keep the action.
All right, the ganks just keep coming. Gakgos stunned up by the hook shot. Dola going in. Gakgos flashing back underneath the turret as Armao wanted to help make it a three-man play, but instead he's going to be found in the enemy jungle as Gryffinn and Cryogen coming around looking to turn things back on the Jarvan. Armao down to 350 HP. Not quite enough damage to kill him just yet, but Gryffinn finally gets it. Now Isles and Dola going in for something more. Gnar finds a target onto Cryogen, and a level 3 Leona will not survive the burst from the LeBlanc. It's a 1-for-1 trade when the dust settles up here on the top side, but down in bottom lane, Berserker is still going after Massu. Another noxious blast. The wave built up in favor of Berserker, ready to crash that one in.
Yeah, really good plays here from LYON, just pressing across the map. Even though Armao dies, top lane play still good. And, Massu.
Oh, Massu, one more Twin Fang. Berserker gets it, and he's not even going to get executed. 22 HP, not even close.
He's calibrating. He's calibrating. Yeah. He's got it downloaded.
The first one was just wait a second now. We're going to have a fight over Crab, too. Isles is joining, but the Crab is already down, so the fighting will have a little bit of a break just for now. But Berserker has just been destroying on bottom side. For Massu at the Ziggs side of the matchup, you want to keep your range. You only want to try and CS and get very small little bits of poke damage. Cassio, when Berserker closes the distance, he's got the speed on you now with the poison already there and just murders him.
I mean, one of the really difficult things is people think about, okay, Ziggs, well, yeah, you just stand back and you wave clear. But when you get this far behind, he stands in between you and the wave. And if you're using your bouncing bombs for last hitting, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to push that wave away from yourself.
That's what's going to happen here on the top side as Gakgos tries to get away, but Dola goes in for one more auto attack. And Isles, with his Camille sharpened freshly from the whetstone of MSI, finds another play here in the top lane.
So, LYON's strategy with Inspired not here is just to everybody fight all the time anyway in your own lanes. And then we won't really notice the jungle because everybody's going for skirmishes and they're pressing it.
And look at the CS advantage that opened up. It was actually pretty close before that, but the wave was so bad for Gakgos, and he died with no TP, and that is the nightmare scenario for top lane. When you get ganked, wave pushing away, then it gets crashed, and the wave is just going to reset and push towards Dola again. You're down 20 CS plus the kill.
I mean, we've got 9 kills in 7 minutes. It's about to be 10, almost. Berserker, one more Twin Fang would have done it. Mega Inferno Bomb flying out just to try to thin the wave out a little bit here. But it is bad news for FlyQuest in the bottom lane, and honestly, across the whole Rift, it's a 2,000 gold lead 8 minutes into the game for LYON.
Yeah, I mean, we know Berserker so much for hyper carries as AD carries, you know, the Zeri-style champions. But now he's on the Machine Gun Mage, and he's making that a hyper carry as well. And Cassio does scale super well. One of the things with bot lane mages is you still get the extra item slot and the extra gold, and it is really going to be a very powerful carry force here for LYON. They're going to rotate him all the way up to the mid lane fairly early for these grubs. And you can see that FlyQuest are keeping these Ziggs on bottom side, so I would assume they're giving it, even though he does have teleport.
Okay, you do have a lot of FlyQuest players hanging around here. They're certainly thinking about it at the very least, but they took too long to think because LYON's already got the grubs.
Yeah, and now you have all these losing lanes, and now you gave over 3 grubs to LYON, who is already getting pushed in all these lanes. That is going to make things even harder. And Berserker being this fed, Cassio is so strong into melee-heavy compositions like this. If you can't one-shot the Cassio, you're playing 4 melee champions into Miasma, into Petrifying Gaze, into all of these difficult abilities to deal with. So Berserker's in a great position to just take over a game like this.
Yeah, he can nullify the movement of so many of these champions on the side of FlyQuest. I will say, they've got all of these teleports now. It's 3-0 in teleports to the advantage of FlyQuest, but they've just been losing so much health in all these skirmishes really early that they have not used these map movements. And LYON, that was a really good one. They just had Dola up by the grubs, and then as soon as the wave is crashing bottom lane, he uses his teleport. They only have the one on their team, but they made it very, very successful.
Don't really need the extra TPs when you keep killing the other team. They're just TPing back to lane. They're not doing anything else with it.
All right, well, we've got to find some sort of a way for FlyQuest to come back in here. 1,000 gold lead for Dola, 1,000 gold lead for Berserker. Yeah, Gryffinn's got his own little bit of a gold lead, but it's just because he's the beneficiary of 2 out of 3 of the kills here for the team. This Lee Sin is going to have to get to work, making some plays and stopping LYON from continuing to just play this so aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about, the jungle matchup, and people are obviously very focused on the fact that Inspired's going to be here. Armao's just kind of been chilling farming. He's got 1 assist, hasn't really been involved in anything. His team is just running over the game across the map here, winning all 3 lanes. That is the jungler's dream. You're just chilling.
Yep, it's like, wow, I've done a great job. Look at how good all my lanes are doing.
You ask your laners, okay, who doesn't have flashes now? Unfortunately, now with this little cooldown in the fighting, everybody does have their flashes, and so that's going to put some more pressure on this dragon as we're going to see the rotation over. Isles here, going to be able to sweep out the vision, and they're so mobile here. Saint getting a good chunk very early. If you're Leona's already taking like 40% damage right there.
Meanwhile, still only level 4 on Isles Camille. He only needs another minion or 2 to actually hit level 5, but he's been roaming so much, he's just not been near any of the EXP as it happens, but the Hextech Drake goes to LYON.
And you know who the beneficiary of that is? Level 9 for Berserker. We can see he's already level 9, and Massu's still level 7. He's about to hit 8, but that's a full level lead there. Obviously, Berserker winning that 1v1, getting so much solo XP. This Cassio is really getting accelerated.
Okay, Gryffinn goes in. Public execution, though, it misses! Gakgos doesn't line up the ulti where Gryffinn found the Dragon's Rage, so Dokla's able to get away for now. Big Dokes fighting underneath the turret, nearly kills them both off. A blunder from FlyQuest as Dokla's about to transform into Mega Gnar, and LYON wants to try to find a counterplay now. They immediately send it in. Armao's grabbing the kill on Gakgos. Gryffinn trying to get away, flashes out of the Cataclysm, but Cryogen is trapped. Isles still looking, seeing maybe if there's something else they can do. Meanwhile, it's Saint jumping in over the wall with the distortion, and Gryffin's out of the picture. FlyQuest tried, FlyQuest died, and it's LYON counting up the bodies.
And Big Dokes can stand up and say, if you come at the king, you best not miss. But Gakgos missed! It was not the exact distance that you get kicked there with Lee Sin. It was a little bit to the side on the Ambessa ult. Dola gives him the emote and then deals out like a couple thousand damage as he's kiting them back into the turret. So here's the kick. The distance is going to end like right here, and it's just a slightly off there for Gakgos. Doesn't quite get the exact distance. And then Dola, look how much damage he's doing. And the key part is the rotation from the team. Whenever you're getting ganks like that, you're making time and you're trying to deal enough damage to set up kills for your team when they can return. And it's not just these two either. Saint there through the jungle. You can see the LeBlanc coming to pick up another one.
Yeah, and Gryffinn looking a little bit frustrated there. It is definitely slipping away from them pretty quickly here in this first game. And again, this was kind of an expected FlyQuest win because LYON has had this brutal schedule, because LYON is missing their big star in Inspired, who is not only the best jungler in the league, but is also shot calling everything. So it's definitely a tough start here for FlyQuest.
I hope we get some listen-ins on the Lions comms, because you know, LYON themselves put out a lot on their YouTube. And I always like when we hear, you know, Saint and Dola and stuff yelling and bantering back and forth. So now that there's a little bit more room, I want to see what this game is like too. Since it's also been so action-packed, you know it's going to be a funny one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was also fun. Saint tweeted out that he actually wanted to jungle for Inspired, but they couldn't find a mid laner. So he wanted to be the jungler. He wanted to be Inspired. They're looking for Gakgos, though. And this is tough. I mean, they're just getting pushed in every single lane, trying to get something down here.
Meanwhile, down to the bottom side, Armao working with Dola yet again. They're going to find the instant kill on Gryffinn's Lee Sin. Now Quad has to try to escape past the smoke screen, getting away to the left, while Cryogen wards away Isles here on the top side. Quad making his way back underneath the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane at the same time. The solo laners from FlyQuest trying to defend here at these tier 1s, but with Quad's smoke having already been used, he knows it's so dangerous to try to stay underneath this tier 1 turret. Saint continues putting the pressure on in top side at the same time. As Gakgos jumps in, just clears out the wave. Saint staying safe, has Isles right beside him. Dola's gonna get everything but the last plate here on that top side turret. And it's just more and more and more for LYON.
I mean, the craziest thing is they're up almost 5K and they don't even have first tower gold yet, right? So they're going to be able to cash in on that almost guaranteed as well.
I mean, rarely in LCS do we have the objective bounties this early. You know, they can turn on at 14 minutes, and we're barely past 14 minutes. LYON have done the slamming already, so let's see.
The slamming.
The slamming has occurred. Now let's see.
You heard the man, Flowers.
All right.
Did he stutter?
Observers, could you pan over the bottom lane tier 1 turret for me real quick? That stupid ward is in the way on the mini-map. The other one. I want to see if there's any plates taken on the LYON side turret, because first turret was acquired. Okay.
The baby plate.
One single plate from the bottom lane turret is the only thing FlyQuest has got this entire game.
And I will say, that baby plate sometimes just gets taken by minions.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a pity plate.
It's
like
really
when you're playing video games with your kid brother and you give him the controller, it's not even connected. He thinks he's in the game.
Well, they can mash that button as much as they want. The character ain't gonna jump, because right now it's LYON, the only ones making any decisions here on Summoner's Rift. 5,500 gold ahead, 15 minutes in. They got themselves the grubs. They got the first dragon. They got the Herald now. Next dragon's gonna spawn in 15 seconds. FlyQuest is trying to set up around the area. Gryffinn at least should be able to take this Scuttle Crab before LYON can do anything about it, but I don't see LYON just letting FlyQuest do this.
I think this is a good time to remind people that LYON are top 3 team in the world
there you
right
go.
now.
Yes, sir.
So they're looking like it as well, even after all the travel that they've done, coming back here and bringing in Armao. You know, Armao, yeah, he didn't have to get super active early on, but he still had a good EQ flash play on the bottom side down there. And yeah, he may be a little rusty, he may have been playing, you know, top lane and stuff, but he's doing just fine, just great in this.
Well, I mean, honestly, when you're in a game and all your lanes are winning, you just need to not mess it up, right? You don't need to do anything crazy. Exactly. Show up to the objectives, play with your strong members. You don't need to get fancy here, no matter who you are. You know, you have been gifted this position where all the lanes are winning. Dola's now 2.6K ahead. He is ridiculously strong. And Berserker is going to be a problem too, so it's like you have to kill Berserker somehow, but you have to fight through.
Thinkard looks catatonic, man. He is not among us
He's less
anymore.
than impressed with the performance so far this game, I think.
Well, LYON also, like, Gryffinn jumps in over the wall to potentially steal the dragon. Normally you see teams like respect Lee Sin's ability to do that. They're just like, nah, we're not going to stop DPS, not slow DPS, just burn it down. We don't care about this guy. There is absolutely no concern in the LYON ranks for anything that FlyQuest can do right now.
Yeah. I mean, Armao is like, I need a little excitement now. Let's do a
Let's flip it.
Let's do a snipe fight here real quick. But 6K gold this early on into the game is pretty tough to deal with. So with the Rift Herald, they're going to be able to open up mid lane as well. Man. This is the last of the outer defenses that FlyQuest currently have. And it's not going to last too long.
6K is bad, but 7K is worse, Mr. Kobe, and it's going to get closer and closer to that as the Herald makes its charge. They do manage to stop it from taking the entirety of the turret. Scryer's trinket placed down over the wall, immediately cleared out by Saint. Dola jumps in for the Mega Gnar, immediately wallop, boulder toss, the whole combo thrown at Quad's Akali. He hides in the smoke to stay alive, but with 1/3 HP left, he is not feeling comfortable against the Gnar.
Yeah, I mean, Dola, that was a huge amount of damage in forcing out the Akali ultimate, like jumping on Akali when she's trying to rotate to your lane like that and just taking away the cooldown that everybody fears in the game. I mean, that does not bode well for your comeback potential because FlyQuest, they have to build their comeback slowly, and you need burst damage to do that because you have to focus on getting a bounty off of, you know, this LYON team. And yeah, it's rank 2 ulti, so it's not like the end of the world, super long cooldown, but you know, one less tool for the time being that you have to try and burst out an opponent and try and get some of these bounties.
Yeah, and I mean, they desperately need any tool that they can have because this
maybe
game
some tools that they don't have.
Maybe some tools, yeah, maybe a 6th player that they can get in there.
They might have more problems than that. Massu stays alive for just a moment, and it's the Locket of the Iron Solari from Cryogen, the shield, barely enough to keep his carry standing. But Massu's Ziggs might as well be invisible this game. 0-2 and 0 has not been able to accomplish a whole lot of anything. Isles immediately popping the hook shot right back into Gakgos as the FlyQuest top laner is nearly instantly killed from Saint's burst. Nobody dies on either side, but for FlyQuest, man, this is so scary.
I mean, I like Saint's movement, but here we go.
Nice play. There we go. That's what you guys are talking about. If you want to get back into the game, it's a long road, and it comes from picks. That kind of a pick right there. Cryogen with the solar flare, followed up with a public execution. Yes, it's only the enemy support, but everything's a good thing if you can get something here for FlyQuest.
Oh no, we see him. Lee here.
Okay.
He showed.
I mean, we can go for his bot camps too here.
Yeah.
Push.
It's not bad. Okay, I'm gonna get my
here.
camp. Oh, I missed out. Okay. Cancel.
I canceled.
Oh.
I canceled him.
Go flash. He's a little.
I like it. You know, they are all filling in and making plans, and Doku talking about we can go for the bot camps here too, and you know, LYON definitely still on point.
Okay, Saint jumps in. A lot of burst onto Cryogen, gets about 75% of his HP. Isles hopping in, forces the flash from the Leona back over the wall to safety. Another summoner spell down for FlyQuest just to survive.
Yeah, it's very interesting as well that Saint is actually going Cosmic Drive, not something that I really ever see. It's almost always, you know, from fed positions like this, going in for Shadow Flame and more flat pen. But it does give him, you know, a little bit more survivability, a little bit more mobility to kind of dodge in and out against all these melees.
And I have been very impressed with his range and with his movement so far in the game. It does seem like he's making the most of it. He's sticking in range for a lot of these tethers as we have Dola.
Oh boy, yep, Massu immediately in some danger, tries to get at the right angle here for his satchel, wants to jump over the wall into the safety of the chickens. But no chickens will be found. It's LYON, the ones eating good. The Ziggs dead again. The punish onto Massu. How dare he step out close to the midpoint of the map as Dola just goes right back to stealing away camp. If Gryffinn tries to fight over this big Krug, he may just die. The kick away onto Isles isn't going to matter. Armao swoops in, Dola gets the kill, and Gryffinn doesn't even get the Krug.
Dude, Dola is an absolute monster, man. Yeah. This guy is a beast. He's taking your Krug, he's taking your life, he's 2v1ing people.
He's not done. It's Berserker and Dola getting another kill. The jungle is not even safe. He was 5 yards away from his base walls, and Cryogen just died.
Yeah, those are Dokka's base walls. He's taking that too. My man's up almost 4K at this point. And I thought this was going to be a game about Berserker after the early stages. I thought it was going to be about the Cassio, how you can't solve that problem. But Dola is just running around, killing everyone. No one can threaten him.
Ooh, and right there, Saint grabs another one, killing spree onto Gakgos. Quad tries to catch up to LeBlanc, but it just ain't going to happen because here comes a TP. Big Dokes making his way back down into the bottom lane, and Quad has got to be careful. Dola has the shield from the empowered teleport. He's got Hysterics plus a Negatron cloak. Quad has no chance of being able to kill this Gnar, mini form or not.
Certainly not. Yeah, I would run the other way. They're going to run away from the dragon. Armao is on objective duty. Good job. Keep collecting those. Big Dokes also, I interviewed him before this match, and he was very respectful, ranked Gakgos top 2 top laners in the LCS. I guess now we know who the top 1 top laner Dola might rate in the LCS is. Because he is an absolute monster. And I always also give extra honors to top laners that, you know, survive ganks. And we saw, you know, him get kills for his team by avoiding the gank. Well, also helped that they didn't perfectly chain their, you know, kick into Ambessa ultimate. But still, putting out the damage and drawing them in and avoiding dying at all this game while accruing such a massive lead.
That's why I always like playing games with Azael, because Azael will get ganked by 4 people all game long, won't die to it except every now and then. I won't help him at all.
I was about to say, Brother, I like you gassing me up, but you are lying. I died to every jungler.
No, you die. But to be fair, you're getting 4v1. Your jungler don't help you. That's okay. I'm the jungler. I know.
He doesn't complain about it that much.
Yeah. No, it's great.
He's like that often, and I don't complain that much.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
we're back in the realm of reality.
We're having a great time. It's fantastic. It's a Baron at 23 minutes for LYON,
Be
though.
honest with the people, you know?
Yeah, that's this is a 10,000 gold lead, right? This is totally comebackable.
Yeah,
I mean, compared to the average top laner, they do complain a lot. So
there you go.
With just
Exactly.
a single game.
I'm on the right side of history, you know?
are.
Yeah, you've got like another 9,000 complaints before you hit top laner average. Like, you're fine, man.
Oh, man.
You could definitely crash out a couple of FlexQ games. It would be like, yeah, it's all good, bro.
It's all cool.
Yeah.
You've earned those.
Understandable.
You built that up, you know? It's like you save it up. Like
Yeah,
re-rolls in area.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
crash outs for top lane. You get one every once in a while.
You've got him banked at this
Now I'm
point.
Every 3 times you play against a Vayne, you are obligated to crash out at least once.
Now I'm looking forward to Azael's next crash out now. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, this will be...
He's
been a
building
while.
it, building it up. Yeah.
They made the announcement that the classic Go for Lols are happening soon. So there you go. You could play some classic Go for Lols, crash out a little bit, have a top lane experience. Massu's having a mid lane experience right now. Saint just continues jumping forward, being as aggressive as possible on this LeBlanc. You guys mentioned the Cosmic Drive earlier, and it just means it's that much more frequent with all the ability haste that he can constantly go in for these plays. Gakgos' public executions have not been good this game, and Berserker ought to just be able to outplay him and slay him here as Dokla's going to be under pressure from 3 down in the enemy jungle, tries to flash away, keeps himself alive, getting away from Sonic Wave. Dokla still hanging on down here. Everything FlyQuest tries, it's just not enough. They're too far behind in the game. Gakgos dies up in the top lane. Dokla survives down in the bot side jungle, and the LYON pressure continues. They've still got this Baron for another minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, Berserker just chases him down so easily. As soon as the ult misses, the Rylai's slows are just never going to end. Every Noxious Blast he hits, he gets the move speed, you get slowed down, and it's an easy chase down there as LYON. This one is just not even close. It doesn't feel like FlyQuest have been able to even find plays to attempt because LYON are constantly in their jungle on both sides of the map. They see everything that they are doing, and it feels like it is only a matter of time before LYON take this first game.
I'm feeling pretty good about our power rankings because at the beginning of the day, the producers were like, oh, just so you know, these are going to be regular season, so we're taking into account that Armao is going to be sub for LYON, and I was like, I'll leave LYON at first place. You know, we'll see how it goes, and it looks like they are staying there.
It's looking good.
It does.
Yours is looking a lot better than mine. I have FlyQuest above them. That's I'm currently in the
It's
sinking
just
ship.
one game,
Okay.
you know. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. But
We've got a lot of time to overreact.
Yeah, we do.
There's not
there's
much,
there's not a whole lot in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely React content now.
Okay, well, let's see if FlyQuest can react to the push from LYON, because honestly, if LYON gets a clean engage here, they should just be able to end this game very, very soon. 13,000 gold lead. They're at soul point. Saint jumps in, flashes back away. The solar flare aimed at the distortion return point would have potentially given FlyQuest an angle to try to engage on the fed LYON mid laner, but Saint avoiding that, feeling good for now. Quad trying to wrap around through this left side flank, but the mid lane tier 3 turret still eating a lot of damage. As Cryogen loses half HP, not going to find a target. There with the E, over the wall comes Gakgos, public execution. It's not going to do a whole lot here just yet, but Saint is finally going to get shut down by Massu, but FlyQuest health bars are just melting. Even when they finally get something, LYON gets more. Quad gets a shutdown. Berserker finally dies, but Dokla's ready with a mop and bucket to clean him up. FlyQuest finally finds a couple of kills, but they lose 4 in the process. Gakgos teleporting to the Nexus turrets just for the shield to try to defend, but he's here in a 1v3. Isles goes in for the hook shot. Armao's ready to follow up with the EQ combo. Isles still staying alive. Dokla needs a little bit more damage, and he should be able to find it. One more boulder toss ain't going to get the mark, but the crunch does. Ace for Dokla. That is a dominating game 1 from LYON, maintaining their form from MSI and trashing FlyQuest here in this first one.
LYON are picking up right where they left off in the LCS, and that is in first place. They're the only undefeated single game victory team in Summer.
You love to see it. It's a hell of a stat, sir. Go ahead and let us know. Who is your player of the game? Spam the chat right now. Let us know who you think popped off. Honestly, this is a tougher one than a lot of the games might be because Berserker had really good performance, Sane had really good performance, Dola obviously had a really good performance, Isles was all over the map, and Armao, for a guy who's subbing in, who hasn't played for a while, who's been playing top lane, there were no big weaknesses there. He did what he needed to do. Lounge, how do you feel about that one?
Big dose! Yeah! Are we really surprised? Top 3 team in the world is able to do this to FlyQuest. That was...
Raz is probably pretty glad he flip-flopped.
Yeah, I am very glad. Let me further flip-flop into a 2-0.